You are listening to the Skrunkus Catalogue, a podcast where we talk about fiction and the many tragedies it entails. This is episode 157, The Tragic Life of the Trix Rabbit.
What's the matter with him?
I'm sad because tricks are for kids.
We all know the tragic tale that plays out in the Trix commercials. Starting back in 1959, we were subjected to the misery of a life that was the Trix rabbit. This rabbit claims that the thing he wants most in the world is a bowl of the precious Trix cereal. However, when he gets his hand on a bowl, a group of despicable children come and take it from him, claiming that Trix is for kids and kids alone. This is already a very tragic tale, but in my analysis of the many Trix commercials throughout the decades, I noticed a few strange patterns. For one, while it's true that, on occasion, the Trix rabbit may steal a bowl from the children, thus giving the children a justifiable reason to take it back, there are many, many times when the Trix rabbit legally obtains a box, and yet the children still take it from him. The second strange pattern I noticed is that in the many times the rabbit disguises himself, the children will gladly give the rabbit a bowl of his favorite cereal. However, once the disguise crumbles and the kids realize they gave the bowl to the rabbit, they take it back. This is interesting as the disguises are often of adults. This proves that the seeming social taboo of the Trix rabbit eating a cereal bearing his name has nothing to do with his age, and is more than likely just the children not wanting him specifically to have the Trix. As we see from other commercials, though, it isn't just the children that want him depraved of happiness, but the entire dystopian society seemingly wants nothing more than to watch this poor rabbit suffer. This world is focused on making the rabbit wallow in misery, and no reason is ever really given. I want you to put yourself in the rabbit's shoes for a moment. Imagine you dedicate your entire life to achieving one goal, and for decades, the entire world decides you are not deserving of it. They hinder your progress at every turn, and every time you have your goal within your grasp is taken away as the monsters mock you. Not one person is moved to show empathy or even show a smidgen of respect to this rabbit. Why? There's no reason the rabbit shouldn't be able to eat it. It's cereal. The rabbit is stuck in an endless cycle of doing the same thing over and over again, simply because society deemed that he didn't deserve happiness. This brings to mind another historical character that no doubt influenced the rabbit. The story of the king Sisyphus is one that many know by now. The tyrant that was punished by the gods for his hubris. His punishment was to push a boulder uphill for all eternity. And any time he would get close to the top of that hill, the boulder would slip from his grasp and force him to start the ordeal over again. This is a tale that many relate to, going through the same repetitive loop over and over again. And no doubt this influenced the Trix rabbit, who also was deemed undeserving of reaching his one singular goal despite endlessly pursuing it. There is one thing I didn't mention about Sisyphus, though. While his tale has been passed down for centuries, one interpretation in 1955 by Albert Camus claims that one must imagine Sisyphus happy. This claims that he didn't find joy in the purpose of the task, as the task intentionally had no meaning, but rather the act of doing the task. And if we look at the Trix rabbit, we see that while he was originally depressed that he couldn't get his hands on a bowl of cereal, over time he met his failures with a smile and a laugh.
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
And sometimes for tricky rabbits.
Even if the world he lives in constantly beats him down and tells him he can't enjoy a bowl of cereal, he won't give up until he gets what he rightfully deserves. And until then, he'll enjoy the trials and tribulations he faces. There's something admirable about that. In life, failure is inevitable. There's no debating that. You're likely to fail over and over again trying to reach a goal that you so desperately want to achieve. It may feel like the world and people around you are constantly impeding your progress, and sometimes you just might not be able to reach what you aspire to. But when you take a look back at those failures, do you want to see yourself wallowing in your own misery? Or, like the Trix rabbit, do you want to enjoy the ride as you go on to achieve your goal? To meet adversity with enthusiasm, and to learn and grow from the trials. I'll leave that for you to decide. This has been the Skrunkus Catalogue. Thank you for listening.